Hello everybody and welcome to the pizzeria. Our time is now open! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time once again for the Pizza Oven Podcast. Joining me today, my lovely co-host, we have the lovely Damo.
Hi.
Who's all of a sudden becoming a hentai voice actress. Or is this hentai mon we're talking to right now?
I got no idea.
Anyway, welcome everybody to the podcast. You may be wondering why we are short. Our co-host Chives was unfortunately unable to didn't feel confident in doing these anymore, so has stepped down. We do have another co-host in the wings waiting, but they're not going to be able to do it this week. So in a couple of weeks they should be up and running, and we should all have our usual 3-man squad. So Chives, thank you so much for at least actually trying for this, and we do appreciate it. And I hope you guys look forward to the next co-host that we'll actually have. But for now, Damo and I shall be holding down the fort. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I hope you do enjoy what you hear, and bear in mind any information that you do actually hear today is either of our own opinion or information that we have found ourselves. It is not definitive information, and we do encourage you to actually go ahead and look for this information yourself so that you can actually God damn it, Nathan. So you can actually find out yourselves in regards of stuff, because all we want to do is people to because what we want from this is for people to actually look around and find out stuff themselves, not go off other people's reactions on Twitter, because misinformation has a tendency of causing more problems. So never assume that what someone is telling you is the 100% truth. Look it up yourself. You'll find yourself a bit more satisfied. Yeah, some people might call you an arsehole for not actually looking it up yourself, well, for not trusting them, but at the end of the day it will cause less issues if you actually do research yourself. All we're doing is either bringing humorous information or some bits of information to light, because it's what we've managed to dig up in just the past few weeks. We've not researched a lot of these topics completely in depth, because we just want to actually discuss unprofessional opinions, because we are, well, not exactly the highest levels of professional.
Yeah, nowhere near it, man.
Yeah. So yes. Well, in regards of games, how have you been doing this week, Damo?
I've been alright. I've mainly been playing Genshin, actually, to be honest.
What a coincidence.
I know. I managed to do the last quest for the mist today, and boy, when I say, damn, it is just pure AIDS, in my opinion. Such a small space with Thunderbutt, to put it politely. I did not actually enjoy that, and I survived with just Rosaria on the team with very little health.
Damn.
I didn't want to do it again for the 4th time, so you know.
Also, something we've been actually doing this week is the Lantern Rite.
Yeah, that's actually very true. I'm really actually in love with Ningguang's gown. To the point that I've just kept it on Ningguang.
Yeah. I mean, granted, the Lantern Rite actually came out last week, but there's still actually stuff that actually can be done, and the stuff in Leeway is actually really pretty right now. So if you are actually a player of Genshin and you've not actually hopped on and done the Lantern Rite yet, we do encourage you to actually do it. It is actually worth your time, because you get a free 4-star Leeway character, and there's quite a few. So. Oh yeah.
But also, in what Damo's been doing in Genshin today, on a single wish, I actually managed to get Jean's legendary weapon.
Ooh!
Yeah. Quite
Very,
impressed,
very,
actually.
very nice. So that's the sword I actually use for my traveller.
Ah,
Yes.
interesting.
I actually have that. I think I think I have that at. I think I've refined that. I think at least 4 times. I think I've got it at max.
Oh, damn.
I don't have how many characters I wanted to use it on, so I just bit bob bap. And I got them on. By the way, I got these on. I got those swords on single wishes too.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, also, by the way, thank you, Lion, for for subscribing at tier 2 for the past 16 months. Very much appreciate it, my man.
Hi, Lion.
We try not to actually get distracted by chat too much. I will be responding either through text if Damo is talking. If it looks like I'm ignoring you guys, please don't take it as such. I will literally just I'm trying to keep this as semi-professional as possible. So yeah, so you've just been mainly doing Genshin over the past week and a bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've, needed that few extra days away from streaming myself, and I thought, what's better than to do an absolute sweet fuck all? Genshin. If anything, I've only been on like The Sims 2 here and there a little bit, just mainly to play test mods and obviously see if there was a conflicting mod, which there was, by the way. But it's more of a, I want to do my Genshin right, just so then I'm not at the back just struggling, sort of thing. So I've been mainly doing artifact runs and basically just leveling up my artifacts to the point I've barely got any at the moment.
Not gonna lie, that's a mood.
Yeah, and a lot of leyline runs as well for the more in the books, because they are very, very important.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've actually this past week I've actually been making prep work for if I considering my luck is becoming almost disgusting as it is, I've actually been making prep work for Yai Miko.
Ah, okay.
Actually getting the stuff to actually ascend her to max level. I believe I'm actually close to actually getting all the stuff needed for her to actually be at max. The biggest problem is going to be actually getting the fin stuff to actually well, you know what I'm talking about in regards to the fin. Basically the the twin bosses you have to fight in Enkanomiya.
Yes.
And also, Mikado, thank you so much for subbing at tier 2, my dude. Thank you so much, very much appreciate it. So yeah, I've been also doing Genshin, but I've also been, as those of you who have been in the stream have been aware of, I've been actually doing a fair amount of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've been enjoying that again. I've also been doing a couple of little extra games on the side to one game that I played back on the Vita was known as Demon Gaze. It was a dungeon crawler JRPG, and it was a lot of fun. I never managed to complete it. I came close, but I never actually managed to complete it. It's it's quite an interesting game. The level up system is kind of like, to use as a bit of a comparison, kind of like Dark Souls, where you can, where every time you level up, you can only raise up one stat, yet your HP and MP go up every time, regardless. So, but yeah, you kind of have to work on. You at first it's just you, but then as time goes on, you can actually add more characters to the team, along with different roles and stuff. And it could get pretty nasty because the enemy could end up with at least you might end up having to face at least 27 different enemies because there's 5 different rows. Because they'll just hide behind each other. It's like, son of a bitch. So yeah, what else have I been doing? I've actually also been playing Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah, how have you been getting on with that, by the way?
Alright, a couple of things. We're going to go over the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. I'm taking that little thing from another channel that I've seen do that. Good. The fact is a completely different playstyle in regards to Pokemon, something that we've been needing actually in a long time. The mechanics are actually really good. And considering this is like their first time venturing into this type of thing for a main main game, and not just one of the side games, like you've seen like with Pokemon XD.
Yeah.
I like how they've actually done it. I like how they've actually made it very story based, and it's not the same as what the others have been. Like you know, like beat this gym leader or this challenge, and you will then actually get a badge, which will then enable you to take on the Pokemon League. No, there's none of that. So it's actually a bit of a differentiating story. Also, bit of a spoiler for those, but when you do complete the main story, you do basically get the other two starters. So whatever start you chose, you will get the other two at the end.
That's quite interesting, to be fair.
Yes, is quite a bit good. There's no online PvP.
Oh.
Yes, PvP is not in this game, which, not gonna lie, I actually am kind of happy about. Because, well, it's always been about, like, online PvP, and so sometimes it's actually kind of suffered with them trying to balance out stuff, whereas this one is solely, like, it's meant for single player more than anything else. You can trade with other people, because there are some mons that I believe can only evolve through trading, or I believe they've managed to do certain things that'll actually change that. I don't know. I've not gone through that aspect yet. But yeah. Also, you don't have to deal with random trainers actually out in the just out and about. You won't just as you're wandering about just come across a random trainer. No, there's none of that. Which is a bit of an interesting, because most battles, if not all battles, will be taking place with wild Pokemon. The only trainer battles you'll actually really come across are story-based. There is an area where you actually can do trainer battles, but they kind of don't really go over that. They kind of don't really explain that. So we're going. So that's so good. The variety of mons, and the fact that there are some mons that actually have evolved forms, or different evolved forms. I do like some of the different looks, like Voltorb and Electrode. They actually don't look angry. They actually look happy.
Oh wow, that's a bit of a step up, I think. Maybe they went to anger management. You never know.
I mean, could possibly. It also might have something to do with the fact that they're electric grass. So. Also, the Scyther has a new evolution.
Okay.
It goes from a bug flying type to a rock type. In the form of instead of it being Scizor, its evolved form is Cleavor. It's basically got like huge cleavers on both its arms. Bit weird, and it looks weirder, but I think it's nice to actually see something like that, because it essentially just goes from one typing to a completely different, like you wouldn't even think typing. So I do like the fact that there are actually some mons that you could be surprised about seeing. Like they've got fairy types in there, and a form of Routes, Krillia and Gardevoir, Sylveon as well as a bunch of others. So the variety is actually really good. Granted, trying to catch some mons are a bit annoying, but due to the rarity of them, it makes sense. Like the EVs, trying to catch them is a pain in the backside, and I think they only appear at a certain time of day.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time as well, it's like there are some mons that are actually enraged that only appear at certain times as well, instead of all the time. So they've definitely done. I'd say they've definitely done good for their first outing of this. Now, on to the bad. not really much actually can be said in regards of bad, but other than the fact that I have looked around and I have seen some people actually saying like this is basically only GameCube level of graphics, and it's like I looked into what some people have said, and to be fair, I actually do kind of agree with them to an extent, but to actually hold that against Game Freak would be kind of stupid, because the same team that have done this have also been doing like all the other Pokemon games. So to hold that against them would be stupid.
Well, I mean,
but the thing is, go for it.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm sorry, but to all those people that are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hold this against you because GameCube graphics, people need to realize is that GameCube, sorry, was literally the shit in terms of graphics on games at the time. You know, like, if I had to compare the GameCube and the PlayStation 1, I would definitely have said back then, massively, like, back then, and I will stick by it, that the GameCube actually had far better graphics than PS1 at the time.
And to be fair though, the GameCube was actually battling also the PS2.
Exactly. And the
original Xbox as well.
I forgot about that, yeah.
It's because the original Xbox wasn't that good.
Oh, don't I fucking know it. I had one at, like, you know, the age of fucking 12, living with my dad. You know?
But yeah. In terms of the graphics, I can understand. Gameplay wise, it's definitely, if this is actually the future of Pokemon, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it again, in terms of bads, other than just like some of the graphics and as well, some of the spawn rates for some of the mons like was kind of really skittish. It's kind of annoying, really. I didn't like some of the spawn rates because, like, if you're trying to catch a certain mon and it appears in a certain area during a certain time, and even if it is like an increased like rarity, you'd still think maybe other mons would appear during that time. Because I've gone to try catch more routes to catch a Gallade, and I've gone to the area where I've known I've seen them, and they've not appeared. So it's like, okay. And I've gone there like several times, and it's been an issue. Like Giyazaki, I've been watching her try and catch Eevees, and she's been struggling.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you on that. I've popped in a couple of their streams, and honestly, they do need to fix that.
I'll say there's maybe some mechanics that they maybe need to go into better explanation about, like the strong and agile style. Like, they only gave kind of like a brief explanation of that, but as basically what I found is the strong style is basically strong and agile style is you only get those on a move if you've actually mastered it. So as you level up, you some of the moves that you actually have or are using, you can master. Because one thing that they didn't actually explain is in regards to the fact that when you learn a new move, you don't have to delete one that a mon currently knows.
Oh, okay.
Not in this game. It's basically you can change your Pokemon's moves and what it knows whilst out in the wild. They didn't really go too much into an explanation on that, which I think that kind of information could have been useful. The strong and agile styles of moves, literally it's a case of they use more power points, but they have their own benefits at the same time. And I think maybe they could have actually gone maybe into a bit of a tutorial for that, because that kind of stuff could easily change the flow of a battle. Like strong style, it deals more damage, but you have to wait a bit longer in times of turns to actually do another move. Whereas agile style, you'll be able to do like 2 moves in the time it takes your opponent to do 1.
Yeah.
So like you could do like a recoil move, like say Brave Bird, and then go into Roost to recover the health you've lost. Granted, with agile style, the move it does less, being the only drawback. But at the same time, I would personally see it's more effective to use agile style rather than power, because not gonna lie, being able to do more than one move, in like being able to do more moves than your opponent, it seems kind of better in the long run. So explanations kind of lacking. The tutorial did, like the initial game, did take a bit to start. It took about half an hour before we actually even got to our first mon. So, granted the story was basically to explain the mechanics of the game, but at the same time, I don't see why they couldn't have actually, you know, done that. Like, you come across like one of the starters, basically all three of the starters, and you basically get to choose which one you go for the capture. They could have easily done something like that. Instead, they kind of dragged it out to maybe explain some of the other mechanics as well as do story. So that's kind of my only little gripe. But for the most part, the game's actually pretty solid. It's pretty down. A lot of people that were actually against the game when it first showed, saying it was actually looking like it was going to be a piece of crap, have actually gone ahead and done a complete 180 and basically gone, yeah, no, I'm really loving this game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, always try it before you actually give an opinion on it.
Yeah.
You know, or if you can't get a hold of the game for whatever reason, I know YouTube is basically not that great because of the one person.
Yeah, but here's the thing though.
Places like YouTube and tutorial guides and stuff, even if you look some of the tutorial guides up about some of the stuff, a lot of the time there is a lot of video stuff on it anyway.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's like, if you don't want to like hear a YouTuber's opinion and just want to actually see the gameplay yourself and then watch, then all you have to do is just actually mute the video.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. You know,
but for the most part,
find a Twitch streamer that doesn't talk whilst playing it.
But for the most part, I do believe that the game is actually worth it, and apparently the price has actually come down for the game.
Oh.
I heard rumours that it had actually dropped down in price to $35.
Well, damn.
Yeah. I've not actually had it confirmed on that one. That's just someone I saw on the net, on Twitter. So I do recommend people maybe actually give that a little look to see if that's actually legit. Because if that is actually true, that would actually be huge news. Because like a brand new game, all of a sudden had its price dropped. Like that'd be huge news. And to be honest, apparently the thank you, Chives. Apparently, it's kind of interesting to see so many people actually playing this game. Like, literally on the weekends, on last weekend, I would go to look at my list of people I follow, and it would just literally be full of people actually streaming the game. Like, literally just playing Legends Arceus. It was great. In terms of downright ugly, there's nothing actually really downright ugly about the game. It's actually just it's a solid start and possible hope for the future. Like, it's definitely if this is what they're gonna do in the future for games, I definitely look forward to seeing it. Like, I wouldn't mind actually seeing, like, no doubt the next remastered will be, if I'm correct, in the series, Black and White. I wouldn't mind maybe seeing them doing a similar type thing with Black and White. Because Black and White introduced a load of different mechanics. So...
Though,
yeah.
Just to go on your $35 thing, now I've just gone onto Google and obviously instantly clicked on the shopping part of it because, you know, why not? In Argos, Currys, Asda, Shop2.net, and Smith Toys, it is going for $39.99 in those stores. Whereas Amazon, Game, and if I have a quick looky, yeah, Game, Amazon, they're going for full price still at $49.99.
But still, that's a fair amount of retailers though actually dropping it to that price.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, and I won't be able to when I get paid this week. Hopefully, some point in the future, I will genuinely be able to get it if it stays this price.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need to treat myself to a new game.
Because to those of you who have actually been following my Twitter at Chaos Mason, you will actually see that I've actually uploaded some videos of me catching some of the red-eyed monsters, or the red-eyed Pokemon, and they're known as alphas. So yeah, those ones are powerful, but you can catch them without being in battle. Alex, thank you very much for the Prime sub. I know you're here to stay, appreciate it. So, yeah, my review, my overall rating for Legends Arceus, I would have to say, initially, bit of a slow start, but as a whole, good game, and great starting point for hopefully the future of Pokemon games. So, hopefully, we actually get more stuff like this, and that'll actually make it more of an RPG rather than just like some random kids game. So I definitely look forward to it on that one. So yeah, would I believe? Do I believe it's actually worth the? Do I believe it's actually worth it? I actually do. If the if you're able to catch it on offer, I do recommend it. If you're umming and ahhing about the game, then don't buy it. Just wait for it to come down in price. That so overall, I'd give it, out of 5 stars, I would give it a 4 out of 5. So there's a lot of good things about it. There are still some things I do feel they need to work on, but as a first with this new kind of mechanic and graphic style. But yeah, no, I do think it's actually worth it, and I've repeated a couple of times, but that's because I think we need to get on to the actual other topics at hand. Demo, would you like to start, or shall I ramble off, because I actually have my article up and ready?
I shall let you do that, actually.
Okay, so we go from Pokemon to Rockstar. Now, as a lot of people are aware, I'm not exactly Rockstar's biggest fan, but I do admit when they actually do something impressive, like the fact they finally actually did DLC, actual continuation of story for GTA Online. There's like the fact they've actually added stuff and made GTA Online actually look good again. So I have to give them credit where credit's due. And same with Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't like the game, but it's done good for itself. However, recently Rockstar have kind of come under fire for bad decisions, aka, I don't know how many of you are aware, but there was actually a movement on Twitter called #SaveRedDeadOnline, because they have not really actually done much in regards of giving Red Dead Online different features. They seem to have their entire team focus on one thing or the other. They don't have like differentiating departments or anything. So, as of 3:31 on the 4th of February, they have announced that they are actually in development is GTA 6. Now, here's the thing: it's taken them forever to actually do this, and considering the fact that Granted, it was another company that did the remaster for the GTA trilogy. The fact is, though, Rockstar could have easily handled the GTA trilogy themselves. They could have easily actually done that, and they could have easily avoided a lot of problems. Now, because of these recent issues, because of the issues in regards to Red Dead, or the sometimes the staleness of GTA 5 and GTA Online, the fact they've not really brought out any other games. My question is, with this announcement of GTA 6, after GTA 5 being their staple for so long, is it actually too late for them? Have they milked GTA 5 to the point where GTA 6 would be pointless?
That's the thing. We just don't know that yet. Obviously, there's been, I don't know if you've seen, but there have been plenty of memes about the milking of GTA 5. I've seen quite a few that have been quite hilarious, actually, when just scrolling through Facebook. But the thing is, the reason why I reckon they milked it for the cash cow, sorry, is because it was a massive game that was in development for over a decade.
But at the same time, this is where I find it so hard to actually I think it might actually be a bad decision that instead of actually because all they've done is said that they've announced is in development. A lot of companies have announced their games are in development, but we never see anything for over a decade. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. That took how damn long? They said they were working on it for how long?
Or games like Dead Island, where we were meant to get an actual second one.
Yeah.
And they keep, even now, they're like, oh, we're taking pre-orders, it's still in development. And it's like, okay, look, we get it, you're trying to revive something that was good, but you kind of screwed yourselves over in terms of that, because you asked for pre-orders, and a lot of people at the time didn't get their refunds back.
No.
To the point they had to basically demand it, and that is fully justifiable in its own means. Would I like to see a Dead Island 2? Yeah, actually I would, because it looked, I've seen some of the trailers and stuff that they released at the time, and it looked genuine. It pulled me right in. But then when I saw that the game genuinely doesn't exist and they're not actually bringing it out, I'm just leaving it be, buried in the sand, because we don't know if it ever will come out or if it won't. And I don't have high hopes for it. Now, in terms of GTA 6, I reckon they should fix the things in the previous games, and they need to learn from their past mistakes. Like the trilogy remake, for example, and it was up to the modders community to fix that.
But therein lies the question, though, because GTA 5 has been out for 8 years?
Something like that, yeah.
And it's all that time they could have maybe had a little team actually slowly starting to work on it, and then now only just announcing it's in development. And they announced it in a tweet. They didn't actually do any big thing or anything. They literally just said in a tweet, and let me just find the tweet here. Here it is. This is actually from the Rockstar Games Twitter. Many of you have been asking about a new entry in the GTA series. With every new project, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we've previously delivered. We're pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the series is underway.
I think they left it a little bit late, in my opinion.
Yeah, to be honest, this is why I asked the question, is it a bit too late for them? Because look at how much they've actually poured into GTA Online.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When they bring out GTA 6, what's going to happen on that front? What are they going to do with it? Are they just going to completely do a new, is it basically we going to get a whole new, online? Are we going to get a whole new online thing? And if so, what about all those people that had poured so much time into GTA 5 Online? What happens then? Are they going to be able to transfer their character and get maybe some rewards with it? And this is why I think it's a bad idea that they've done it for so long. Because there's even memes of being able to actually play GTA 5 on your fridge. Go smart fridge.
I've seen that one. Yep.
And the thing is, considering technology, I'm actually kind of inclined to believe that. I genuinely believe we would actually play games like GTA on our fridges than before we get a GTA 6. But I generally do believe that, because it's like, look how, like, I don't know what they were thinking by dragging this out for so long, but Rockstar and Bethesda, they just seem to milk their like games for so damn long. Like with Skyrim, literally being able to play on almost everything, including your grandma's Zimmer frame. It's just so ridiculous. It's like, companies, like, we get the idea of actually wanting to do like remakes or remasters, or you're doing like a celebration pack. We get the idea behind that, but for the love of fuck, come up with something new.
Definitely.
Your companies that have actually built a reputation on these game series, but instead all you've done is actually milked it and maybe given like little bits of new stuff here and there. Where's the imagination? Like, where like GTA, like, don't get me wrong, like back in the day that set a whole precedence. Like the original GTA games, that set a whole different, that was a whole different ball game back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, that was completely out of the ballpark. Like, there weren't many other games like GTA back in the day. And the same for the Elder Scrolls games. There was nothing, there was plenty of games like them, but they stood out. The Elder Scrolls games actually stood out because they actually did things, and they've actually continued the Elder Scrolls lore. And it's like, where does it get to the point where series just need to just be put to an end? Where's the line that we draw? Because
no, I agree.
It's like, with all these like remasters or remakes that are coming out, it's like there does not seem to be any in the way of, like, there doesn't seem to be much in the way of imagination. Because technically, like, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that the Final Fantasy VII that we're getting now is meant to be the original Final Fantasy VII. It was what the story was originally going to be, with a few little tweaks here and there. But at the same time, it's like, it's still not like brand new in a sense. It's the creator's original idea,
which I'm glad they're actually bringing to light for that. Actually,
yeah,
all the minuscule minor details, you know, there's so much potential with that game. But
yeah,
I do believe that they do need to do a little bit more, just push themselves a bit of an extra mile and be like, we need to stand out.
Yeah,
and they did, and they need to continue doing that for the rest of their game.
But one thing I actually did see, and I am kind of agreeing with in some aspects, is some people are worrying that the Final Fantasy VII Remake games, they're afraid that they may end up following the same trail as Kingdom Hearts and doing good, but then on the final part just falling on its face. Because I've completed the first, like, I've completed the Final Fantasy VII Remake game. I've not done the Yuffie chapter because that's only on PS5, because fuck me, right? Like, that whole story, absolutely incredible, absolutely brilliant. Like, it takes quite a bit to do, but there's still actually quite a few bits I actually want to do in the game. There's still a few things that they've not actually put in, well, things that I've not actually found yet. There's a few things I actually want to get done, like some chests that I didn't get, maybe some like summon. There's like a couple of summons that you can actually pick up, which I wasn't able to. But there's actually a lot more. But this is where I'm getting worried about the gaming industry. It's like, it just seems to be, the gaming industry just seems to be copy pasta at the minute.
Oh yeah, like, you know, I am grateful for the fact they've brought out, you know, remakes for the nostalgia, for that little extra detail, you know, that we didn't really get with the original games. And I appreciate that, and this is why I enjoy playing the remakes so much, you know, admittedly not with the Resident Evil game, because, you know, I did a stupid. But but
that's all different kettle of fish we'll get into.
That's another story for another time.
Indeed.
But, you know, it's one of those where it's actually, you know, really good. And it's very useful to have at hand because, you know, like I said, for nostalgia purposes, it brings in a new audience. But if you're gonna start doing the copy pasta in terms of like, you know, going into a big flop, people then aren't gonna be interested in investing in your company. They're just gonna turn a blind eye. In my opinion, because, you know, it's all well and good. I understand it and I love it, but in the same sense, I don't, because it's how often are you gonna be doing these remakes? You know, for how long are you gonna try and milk it?
So, but that's literally like we'll just have to wait and see in regards to GTA 6. Like, we just literally gotta wait. Like, if it'll actually be as grand as they are gonna try and make it, or has people's faith in the Rockstar actually completely gone? Like, we shall see. I myself don't exactly hold a lot of faith based on their recent activities, but based on reputation's sake and what they've done in the past, I will still be keeping an eye on it just to basically see how things go. And I do recommend other people actually maybe look at everything that they'll be doing over the next few years, especially if it's actually under development like they claim, and actually see if they're actually gonna stick by their word. Just just have a bit of an objective eye. Don't go out and actually shit talk them. Don't be an arsehole. Just give them an eye and actually go like, is this true? Is this right? And like actually just make sure that the next GTA is actually better than GTA 5.
Oh,
and not just basically just a different skin like I feel Red Dead Redemption 2 is.
I will admit, I did actually play Red Dead 2. Can't say that I like it a hell of a lot. No, I literally uninstalled it. It was one of the first things I uninstalled just to make room for like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Better choice.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's so yeah, keep an eye out, people. Damo, do you have an article that has caught your eye?
I have actually.
Then
now,
the floor is yours.
thank you. Now, I don't know how 100% true that it is, because admittedly I did only just, you know, look at the one article and I was like, okay, fair play, fair play. But as you guys all know, Epic Games in their store had been offering free games. And allegedly, now I haven't seen this blog post myself personally, so please do look this up for yourselves. And basically, they're going to be continuing on doing the exact same thing throughout 2022.
And what is it they're actually doing exactly?
Honestly, I'm not overly too sure to actually state, really.
Are they actually going to be continuing with free games, or are they actually going to be doing something different?
From what I'm aware of, and can actually see right in front of me just to refresh my memory a little bit, like I said, I'm entirely sure because, you know, in the past, obviously, things like Control, Civilization, sorry, I'm not really good with Roman numerals, it's the VI, you know,
That'd be
and
6.
even at, okay, 6, and, you know, even then, at the time they originally did this, they actually, funny enough, talking about GTA, they actually did give out GTA 5 for free. But other than that, this article really doesn't say a hell of a lot, so I do apologise, I don't really have that information. But by the sounds of it, apparently it could potentially look promising, obviously, if that is the case and it is true. So, you know, I personally don't use the Epic Games Store, but I do know a few people that do. So I really hope that it all goes well for everyone in terms of that, if anything. Because if you could let me know what games are going for free on the Epic Games Store, and if they do pique my interest or anybody else's interest, let us know. Because then we can maybe, you know, play a game that we've not played before.
Yeah.
You know,
and maybe
get into the swing of things.
And if it's actually true that they're actually going to be continuing the free games, maybe we can actually do a follow-up on it at a later date. But yeah, no, that's something to actually people to keep an eye on, actually. So the Epic Game Store is like, it's been on and off for a bit now, but the fact is they're announcing that they're going to be possibly keep going on with some of the free games. That's considering the past couple of years, especially in regards to the game industry, it's like, that's a pretty big thing to actually announce. Because it seems these days that quite a few things seem to be doing if you pay a little extra and you get like free games, like with the Xbox, like with the Microsoft Game Pass, where if you have obviously a Microsoft account, then you pay a little bit extra for the Game Pass, then you get a shitload of free games on both Xbox and on your PC on the Microsoft Store. Like, don't get me wrong, like, there's a huge selection. Like, this is why I believe that in the later part of the I feel that Xbox One actually did better than PS4 because it had stuff like that. But yeah, that actually goes on to another article I'll talk about later, actually. And to any PlayStation players here, you'll actually know what's probably what I'll be talking about in regards to that, because I think it's something that we do need to hold company accountable for. But anyway, so yeah, in regards of free games, if that's actually legit true, they're actually going to keep on with that, then they must feel that they're actually doing pretty well to actually keep on with something like that. Because I know Xbox rotates games in and out on the Game Pass.
Yeah.
So there'll be like one game, because there's like all that, you can get all the Halo games, or at least the Halo Master Chief, and the recent ones on the Game Pass. They've had them on there for like ages, and they've had the Gears of Wars games on there too. So free games. Quite a bit of a interesting little thing there. Do people that could lead on to another question. Do you feel it's actually worth paying for just a little bit extra, say a month, to actually get a shitload of free games? And not demo level games, we're talking full games. Is it actually worth it? Because you're technically not owning the game. Because though it's really good, at the same time you're still technically renting it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with you on that one.
So it's kind of catch-22. In some aspects, like, it's actually good, but another aspect, like, it's not. But it's kind of like a modern day rental service. But then again, though,
that way, doesn't it?
But then again, though, we don't really have much like that nowadays. Like, a lot of the places that used to do like rental games, like Blockbuster and various other outlets, I don't know if people have noticed, they're not around anymore for the most part. Like, there's only maybe like one or two little bits dotted about here and there, and they're like very small. But yeah, there's not actually anything like that these days, because renting games back when I was a kid was a huge thing to look forward to at the end of the week. Like, I would always look forward to possibly being able to actually able to rent a game for the week or the weekends. And the fact that there's nothing actually like that now, it kind of like, it kind of could also you could also say maybe Microsoft actually tapping into the nostalgia effect of being able to rent a game. Because while you're able to actually pay for that service, or however long they actually keep it up on that service, then you'll be able to actually play the game at your own leisure. So, is it a rental service, or is it actually just a service? So that is something that will probably be up for debate for quite some time, especially as we move forward into a I guess a new age of tech and gaming rental services. So we will see about that. We're almost at the we're almost at the 55 minute mark, so I will call for a quick 5 minutes break on the sound of the buzzer. In which case, I will recommend everyone maybe go get something to drink, something to eat, go stretch the legs, or maybe go to the toilet or whatever. And yeah, we will be right back once, of course, as I said, the buzzer goes. There we go. And on that note, hey, Jiangling, I'm not paying you just to stand there and look pretty. I asked you for your cooking services again, and you're just stood there yet again.
Oh, she giving you that attitude with the hand on the hip, like, what the fuck you say to me, boy?
No, I think Goober might be actually behind, actually maybe messing about again. Fuck's sake.
God damn it, Goober.
The one true god. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna go to take a quick 5 minute break, ladies and gentlemen. So we will see you back at should be back yeah, in 5 minutes. In 3, 2, 1. See you in a mo. And time for a break is over. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello everybody, I hope you were able to actually have a quick drink, maybe grab something to eat, and stretch the legs, maybe go for a pee. Hopefully not all at the exact same time, because that'd be rather unhygienic.
I'm quite awkward if someone walked in on you.
Yeah, it'd be like, So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the podcast goes for only 2 hours, because, well, when a bunch of socially awkward people start talking about stuff, it can be a little bit straining on them sometimes. So, we have made it past the first hour, so to speak. Granted, we started and we did a little couple of bits beforehand, while I was like testing, but it's whatever. I'll have like a little proper like actual timer thing going at some point, but beside that, so on to well, we've had Damo's article, we've had a couple of serious articles. Now on to I have a couple that I want to reel off before you do your next one, Damo. That are actually more humorous than anything else, and to not really be taken seriously. Now this next one doesn't really have much to do in regards of video games itself, but it involves a video game character, I guess you could say. So, I'm reading this. This article is I found through a Gaming Bible. So, this is what the article has said. After years of lackluster video games that have failed to recapture the essence of its youthful heyday, Sonic the Hedgehog has apparently turned to robbing banks. Well, a man in a Sonic the Hedgehog mask, but still, this is either a well-meaning fan tribute to Sega's mascot or a particularly poor attempt at framing the blue blur. The conspiracy theorist in me suspects the latter. In Florida, on February 2nd, a man tried to rob a bank with a hammer wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog mask. So he went banging. So he went up to the bank teller and went banging on the window with a hammer, telling everyone on the other side to give him money. When he was confronted, he turned around, ran out, and he was gone before the police arrived. So, either Sonic's really gone down the deep end, or that motherfucker be quick. As it stands, apparently, however, he's not been caught yet. At least from what I've seen. So, yeah, a bit ridiculous, but what the fuck?
Sonic be needing that mess, my guy.
Sonic's now the. Maybe this is actually you know, all just perfect timing. That happens on February 2nd. 2 days later, they announce the development of GTA 6. Might be the beginning of a new time. The start of all of a sudden, the start of GTA 6 features Sonic the Hedgehog. That would be fucking something. Like, I can just imagine, like, you would. I don't know if you'd actually, if you had someone actually come up to you with a very poorly done Sonic the Hedgehog mask and actually with a hammer slamming on your window, telling you to get money, and then give you all the money, and then out of nowhere, as soon as someone confronts them, they leg it and are gone, and police haven't found them. I don't know if you'd be able to take that whole thing seriously. Because it's like, granted, it's an attempted robbery, but at the same time, mate, you've got him with just a hammer and a bag and a Sonic mask. Mm-hmm. This isn't Payday 2, mate. This isn't Payday 2. You're gonna have to go a little bit better, my bro. He punked the bank staffers. It's just the hell. Like, just again, my little conspiracy theorist within me, you know, and again, the timing's rather coincidental, don't you think? Too coincidental?
Definitely.
Sonic, someone looking like Sonic the Hedgehog attempts to rob a bank, then runs away. All of a sudden, GTA 6 is in development.
You know what though? It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case either.
Not gonna lie, if that were actually the case and Sega were actually doing a collab with Rockstar to have Sonic in GTA, and it's maintains its 18 rating, I would piss myself laughing.
Right, shout out to Rockstar. If you ever see this, get someone wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog mask. Sega, please agree to this. This would be the best marketing you'll ever have, okay? Get someone in a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog mask with a hammer just to recreate that scene.
I just realised something. Shadow the Hedgehog had his own game, and he was running around with guns.
Oh shit, yeah.
Maybe they can have a mission where you're working with Sonic and Shadow, trying to rob a bank.
Yeah, Rockstar, get on in this shit, okay? I will happily take 10% of all proceedings, just, you know, for this idea alone. You also best be giving my man like 30-40% of the proceedings for this idea too.
That would just be the most ridiculous fucking thing ever.
Oh, but it'd be so worth like getting it though, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would just literally be the dumbest shit ever. Like seriously, bro. Oh god, from one bit of ridiculousness, from IRL possible foreshadowing to, well, degeneracy, so to speak. I know, degeneracy here on this channel? Never. We're wholesome Minecraft streamers here.
I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not.
What are you talking about? You actually go around streaming Peppa Pig games.
No, I don't. Don't give out false advertising in this information.
Twitch.tv
Or come to
/
your house in a Sonic mask, mate.
Don't yourself the furry community.
I'm staying out of that one.
Sonic Rule 34 is cursed. So, as I said, on to degeneracy. Can I just? I will just read out the headline of this article, and then I'll basically give you the information or the cliff notes of what I've basically found out. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Nude mods have arrived, and oh my god, my eyes. So, as everyone's aware, when it comes to mods, when it comes to games on PC, or at least games that make their way onto PC, there's usually a shitload of mods made for the games. People usually go ahead and make mods left, right, and centre. If a game's on PC, there's usually a mod for it somewhere along the line, and that's just a given at this point. But Final Fantasy VII Remake has been on PC for over a year. Not over a year. It made its way at the end of 2021. So, a couple of months. So I think it was October, November that it hit PC, if I remember right. But yeah, no. It usually doesn't take long for mods to be made for games like that, like the Resident Evil games, the recent ones, the remakes, Biohazard and Village. You know, there was mods made for them left, right, and centre. Some very humorous, some full of degeneracy, like nude mods and stuff like that. I have looked into this, people, and I have to say, no, just the mods actually for the Resident Evil games, and some of them are hilarious, like Mr. X coming through the door for Resident Evil 2, but instead of Mr. X, it's Thomas the Tank Engine. And that kind of started a whole meme of Thomas gon' get ya. And literally, someone actually added onto that mod for the Resident Evil 2 with Thomas the Tank Engine. It's literally X gon' give it to you, but to the theme of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh no!
And literally, you hear it coming in the distance. X gonna give it to you to Thomas the Tank Engine, just in the distance, and all of a sudden open the door, it's just a fucking giant Thomas the Tank Engine coming at you.
Alright, I need to now get this on PC, and, I'll just be right back.
It's absolutely like, I do recommend looking into it. I recommend actually looking up videos on the mods actually for Resident Evil games, because some are just hilarious. But yeah, it's what's surprising is, because usually the perverted mods or modders of the community, they usually are pretty quick in regards of stuff.
Oh yeah.
It usually takes them maybe about a week or two, and there's usually something. Yeah, no, apparently it's taken them this long to actually create nude mods for Final Fantasy VII Remake. More specifically, nude mods for Tifa and Aerith. And when you go into the menu to look at the characters and their stats, they've also added it on there as well.
Okay.
So, not gonna lie, that's slightly impressive they've gone into that level of detail. But it's just like, it kind of calls into the question, like, because this is where it sort of like got into my, because this is how fucked up my head is at times, because it got me actually thinking, like, they say that these mods, but surely there'd be something within the code, because nowadays, because when it comes to video games, from what I've seen in terms of development, you start off with like nude models and then you put on the clothes, because in order to actually give the clothes a bit more life. Because, well, we're that far advanced now in regards to video games, like clothes actually do have their own movement now. They're no longer stiff like they used to be. So it's like, surely, like, at some point, like, do these mods actually, like, bypass the actual clothes coding, or does it maybe create a whole new code in general? Now, this is trust me to actually find some intellectual curiosity in regards of nude mods in a video game.
Well, I can't answer that for things like Final Fantasy Remake and stuff like that, but I can actually, and I'm completely out in myself here. So, we all know I am obsessed, highly obsessed with the Sims franchise, okay? Now,
Could have fooled me. I thought you were in a Terraria.
Now, with the Sims, all Sims are created, as Chaos has said, with a basic nude model sort of thing. Now, I don't have the mod anymore, but there is a mod on Sims 4 called Wicked Whims, and there is a lot that goes into that as a whole, like moodlet changes and stuff like this. And people, now, with male Sims, they do not have a penis. It never has done in the Sims franchise, because, well, the game would be rated mature.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously, yep. They don't have a penis, just like the female Sims do not actually have a full-fledged vagina.
So basically they got the whole
nipples.
Barbie Ken thing down there.
Yeah, basically. Now, there are also submods to this mod. One of which you can become a prostitute, which is why I got Wicked Whims in the first place. I'm like, yes, prostitution in Sims? Okay, let's get on with it. Now,
you sound a little bit too excited about that one.
I was very excited when I was playing with it originally. It just, yes, mate. Now, people actually created penis models, which you would have to download a submod for to get the mesh. Different variations of sizes and incredibly in detail. So, you can see how it all kind of comes around, because I don't think that, even with Final Fantasy VII remakes, that it would, it wouldn't have, like the men having the penises and the full-fledged vaginas and stuff like that. But it does, I can say one thing, it does take a lot of work to do, especially if there's updates to the game. And some of these people that created specifically these mods for Wicked Whims, like these submods, have spent months, maybe weeks, maybe a bit longer than a couple months, just to make sure it still runs smoothly for the for the main updates sort of thing. So there's no bugs, there's no crashes, there's that sort of thing. And I do heavily believe that a lot does go into it. Just because of what I've experienced myself on the Sims franchise.
Mm.
And I kind of want to see how they do it, you know, especially with the remakes and stuff like that, with the nude mods and
like what level?
Say related mods, you know.
At one point, like, because apparently, because with regards to the Final Fantasy VII remake mods, based on what I've read, apparently, oh, there was. God damn it, line. I'll leave you to read. I'll leave you to read what lines just said. In regards of Final Fantasy VII nude mods, like apparently it's only Tifa and Aerith, and it at the moment. So it kind of makes me think, like, are they gonna do like stuff for like the other characters? Like, could you imagine like running around as Cloud with his big sword out and it's just Wang just flowing about in the breeze?
Yes.
Or Barrett just like out, just like stood there firing his gun. It's just like fucking slong just out. But here's the thing, guys. Like, do they just stick with the playable characters, or do they do that to the NPCs?
I mean, if you look at Skyrim mods, they've done
like,
a
not
lot
gonna
for
lie,
NPCs as well, so I wouldn't doubt that.
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind actually doing the final fight in that game where you go up against Sephiroth, but everyone's just in a nude mod. Just like seeing Sephiroth like go full monster and just like come along with his big swords, trying to hit Cloud with his other sword. That would, to me, that would just be hilarious.
You're putting an image in my head, my guy. Like, I am a fan of both characters for very different reasons, actually. But I wouldn't mind seeing something like that.
How about you go into detail about that? How about you tell us about your appreciation of Sephiroth and Cloud? Would you see that as more of a guy-on-guy fanfic, or hey Gio?
Hey Gio.
What fantastic time for Gio to pop in. Or is it, or would it be a case of like they arrive at Tifa and Cloud's home, and they take some time, and Sephiroth and Cloud take some time to visit Tifa for some for a bit of a sandwich. I don't know why, but I'm just imagining that playing. I'm just imagining it in my head with the One-Winged Angel music playing in the background. Just all you hear from Tifa is like, oh, and in the background, Sephiroth! Sephiroth! And instead of that, you hear in the background, "What's a cock?"
Like, I actually appreciate this conversation right now because I'm just trying to think, just to answer the question, and my brain's just like.
Oh no! I just got into my head. There's actually I don't know if you've actually heard it, but there's actually a SpongeBob mix of the One-Winged Angel.
Oh no!
Scheme happening. Just all of a sudden that's going on, and you just see SpongeBob pop up in the corner of the window with Sephiroth like there. I'm just spiraling off into my own little fucking mad game now at this point.
Let's roll with it, man. Let's roll with it.
Fuck it, we're on this train of degeneracy. Might as well keep going all the way down.
My mind has just gone from, yes, we could talk about this topic. Question arises. Boom! Train crash.
Oh, fucking hell. Skip it up
Get away from
What's a cock? Dun, dun, dun.
Sephiroth!
Instead of the Omni Slash, it's the Omni Fuck.
I didn't even call your name.
What the fuck just happened? What's happened?
Right, so we're talking on the podcast about a particular subject of NSFW mods for the new Final Fantasy VII Remake. And there's a character called Sephiroth. And I went, Sephiroth! And you come in, and you're like, yes, can I help you?
If it, not gonna lie, who was that came in?
Sarah?
Oh my god. Speaking of Tifa getting ploughed both ends, hello Sarah.
Sephiroth! Great Master God! But my cat, can we just take a second to appreciate the fact that when I did that exact moment, the cat gave me eye contact and just looked away like, I ain't dealing with this right now.
Do you want to know the irony? I'm just adding on to this. Tifa actually has a finishing move called Dolphin Blow.
Oh wow.
Yep. Oh my fucking god. So but generally though, like where to try and put it back on track instead of before we spiral off into some Pornhub level degeneracy. Like, I'm generally actually curious, like in regards of like how the level of detail mods actually go into when it comes to editing games. That I was recent as Final Fantasy VII Remake or the Resident Evil games. I'm generally curious, like, not because I want to do that shit myself, because like that would be way too much time and effort. I ain't got the fucking patience for that. But it's actually because it's like, because if you can do that level of modding for a game, then surely you'd be able to actually help in coding for a game, or would that be a completely different ball game? Because you're technically editing code, or you're creating new code. That's where it might draw the line.
Just to quickly add on to your Pornhub, because I need to get it out of my system. Instead of it being like, what you doing, step bro? Like, what you doing, step Sephiroth?
No. Because of the group they belong to. What are you doing, step soldier? Oh, fucking hell.
What you doing, step flower?
What are you doing, step clown?
Ooh.
What are you doing, step Roth? All of a sudden, the orchestra in the background. Sephiroth! Dun 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 dun. Step on me!
Yes.
Fucking hell.
Hey, we made Daddy choke.
Hey, look at that! Look at that! You're choking now. Fuck you.
Sarah just walked in the room as I finished saying that. Okay.
Fuck's sake.
Sephiroth!
Soccer clock! Or they just start going into taking the piss out of Kingdom Hearts. Sorrow sucks!
The best part about it, she's on a live with someone on TikTok.
Oh, fucking hell. I think that's enough of that one. You got. Do we need to go on to another topic, or do you want me to continue with my own?
We'll continue. I'm so sorry. I just had to get it out of my system. And
No. It's fine. It's fine. It's great that we actually got that in there. I'm so glad I've held on to that. I was so glad I held on to that. That's one of the topics I had literally for last week.
Nice.
Alright, but I do have another topic, an actual serious one.
Okay.
That's kind of a follow-up, or it's kind of, I guess, a bit of a follow-up on the earlier topic about free games.
Oh.
More specifically, the PlayStation Plus games for this month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To those of you who are unaware, the PlayStation Plus games for this month, if you're on PS5, because it's 3 games. If not, it's PS4. You get 2. We have EA Sports UFC 4, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, and Planet Coaster. These are the games that are available on that are free on the PlayStation Plus right now. There's a bit of I take a bit of an issue with Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. And don't get me wrong, probably one of the best, if not the best, DLC for Borderlands 2. Period, because it's just so fucking hilarious. They've made it into its own separate game. I don't know why, considering the Borderlands collection is actually pretty cheap.
That's true.
And they're offering it as a free individual pay. Apparently, like, it kind of calls into a question, like, why, like, because I know obviously we're getting the Tiny Tina game soon, which is basically just an expansion on the whole Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. So I get maybe actually doing something like that, but if you're gonna do that, then why not have, like, why not just basically put the Handsome Jack collection on PlayStation Plus? I think people would have actually maybe been a bit more receptive to that, rather than just a DLC which can be done in maybe about an hour or 2.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like,
it's like
they're gonna release games like for the PlayStation Plus. At least let it be games. Don't let it be half-assed. Like, I don't think it was last time, but the time before that, actually, where they released a demo version of a game.
Yeah, it didn't have all the stuff that the main game has. That's what. But yeah, but it's like that. Like, PlayStation Plus hasn't exactly been great as of late. Like, last month was spectacular because of what they had on. Granted, I couldn't get much out of it because I already had Persona 5 Strikers. So, but at the same instance, it's like, why is it that the PlayStation Plus is actually falling so far behind? Like, the list of games on the PlayStation, exclusives as well, is huge. And yet, the choices that they're going for are pretty dire. Like, it's like, come on. Like, seriously.
I have to agree with you on that, though, because, like...
Oh, and also... sorry to cut you off, but within the free game, with the free Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, there's actually an advert in the game for the next one, for Wonderlands.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it's in that one, but not in the Handsome Jack collection bit.
Okay.
So it's like, why? It literally makes no sense. And Tiny Tina's Wonderlands comes out at the end of March. So it's like, why not, like, just give, like, because there were two things they could have easily done, basically, in kind of, like, advertisement or, like, give people, like, the chance. The Handsome Jack collection, or Dying Light, the first one. That could have, I personally think that would have, either of those would have actually been way better options than what we got. Yeah. And it's like, granted, the Borderlands Handsome Jack collection is literally like 3 games. Just three good games. But instead we get, I just don't get what Sony's playing at. Like, seriously.
Honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie, if they continue going the route of good, bad, like, they need to fire someone, honestly.
Like, whoever's actually thinking these are a good idea definitely needs firing. And people have been very vocal about it online. They have been very vocal. I checked out Sony's Twitter when they actually did a little advert for the games. Yeah, no, there was a huge roast. I think the last time I saw a roast like that was in my head when we were talking about Sephiroth, Cloud and Tifa.
Yeah.
It's the last time I saw a roast that bad. And it's just like, I just don't understand. Like, you look at all the games that have actually come out this month, or are coming out, and it's like, you guys have plenty of options, and yet, like last month, to be honest, I can understand if they did Dying Light last month, because they would actually give people a chance then who are curious about it but don't have the first one. They can actually play the first one, get an idea, and then that would actually probably lead them towards actually getting Dying Light 2. You know, to be honest, that seems like a better marketing idea than what they're doing here.
Exactly.
Because what about people like me who actually own the Handsome Jack collection? Literally, the only game we're then getting is literally UFC 4. And even then, I'm not going to play that. But it's just like, so what are we paying for?
Exactly.
Like, it... Obviously, there's a bit... Obviously, I know what they'll probably say, and free games through PlayStation Plus it's not... It's a privilege. We really don't have to. It's like, you kind of actually do, considering your PS Now section, considering your PS Now does kind of suck.
Yep.
Like, PS Now, literally, if you want to play a game on the PS Now section, it all depends on how your internet is. Because you're not playing the game, you're streaming the game. Not in the sense of what we're doing now, but kind of like when you stream like a show to on Netflix. Because that's a type of streaming service. And it's like,
I'm not being funny, like, Netflix are bringing out a, like, mobile game thing, and that's actually split up in the price apparently, but that's a whole another story for another day. But even they're looking semi-good compared to the PlayStation Plus games at the moment, especially compared to PlayStation Now.
Lion just informed me, they've also removed the video section from PlayStation Store. That's interesting, considering you used to be able to actually buy movies and that on the PlayStation Store.
Last time I was on the PlayStation Store was about a few days ago, and I personally still saw it on there, but they could have obviously updated it during that time.
Yeah. But it's like, if that, hang on, I've got my phone in, let me just check.
I've got my phone as well, I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah, I'm on the PS app already.
It looks like they have removed it from the See More section.
Interesting.
Very interesting, actually.
Why would they do that?
Honestly, I don't know.
Whoever's in charge of marketing, they need to be fired. Seriously.
Well, at least I can get my Life is Strange remastered collection. Sorry, I just added that to my library.
Played Life is Strange. I streamed that on YouTube. I got copyright claimed out the arse.
Damn.
It's because of people are going to other social media now to watch movies. They want to concentrate on gaming. That kind of is fair enough, but still. But still, it's like there doesn't seem to be. Not gonna lie, it doesn't really seem to be much in regards that's worth paying PlayStation Plus, because as people know, I have a huge library of games. And they recently, and a few years ago, they updated how much you can actually have on the cloud storage. How much save data you can have on the cloud storage is literally 100 gigabytes of save data, which is huge. Before it was only 10. A slight issue I've found with that you can have up to 100 gigabytes of save data. You only have a limited amount of games you can put on there.
Yeah.
It's like, so why, like, how the hell are you going to have 100 gigabytes of save data on the cloud then? It's like, what's the point in that? Like, what are we actually paying, this service for? Not gonna lie, Xbox is a better service.
Shockingly, yes.
But this goes back to what I said, what I have stated for some time now. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. PlayStation 4 was actually great at the beginning. As time's gone on, they've come under new management and they suck. Whereas Xbox has actually improved. Granted, they don't have the exclusives, but they have the backwards compatibility stuff, and they've actually gotten better.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually a case of what is PlayStation or Sony rather playing at? Like, it's for people that are actually paying for a service, and this is included in the service. Is it really worth it? Because there was actually talk about a while back about them actually including PS Now in the PS Plus service. Like, just like, you don't have to pay for PS Now. It's just part of when you pay for PS Plus.
Honestly, I reckon they should do that, because at least it's something.
Yeah, because then at least, because it would then actually give a little bit extra, because they seem to be taking away more and more and more. Like, there are actually, like, there's one of my Digimon games, Story Cyber Sleuth, Hacker's Memory. They've actually removed some of the DLC. They've actually removed all the DLC for it.
What's the point in that?
Yeah, but if you already own the DLC, then you ain't got to worry. But yeah, no, there's actually a few DLC that I've noticed for some of my games that I was going to get, but have now disappeared. They've just straight up removed. I don't know if it's a licensing thing or whatever, but there's no mention. There's no mention of some stuff being removed. They just sneakily removed it. Like Deadpool, the video game, that's been removed from the PlayStation Store 3 times, and it's not been added back now. So if you want to actually play the Deadpool game, then you can't on PlayStation 4 or PS5, from what I hear.
That's just weird.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's like, again, this is why I think that we do need to hold gaming companies accountable when it comes to bad decisions like this. Because they think it'll make them more money, but in the short term, it may save them money. But in the long term, it's going to cost them, because it then damages their reputation with the consumer base.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because if they didn't do stuff like that, then we wouldn't even be talking about it right now.
Exactly.
So,
they fucked up big time.
I mean, granted, thank you for the free content, Sony, for your fuck up. But at the same time, it's like, if you're paying for a service, then you expect a certain standard from said service. But when they don't deliver on that, should we just sit back and at least wait for them to actually do something, or do we have the right to maybe actually point it out and say, hey, what's going on here, guys, and maybe, you know, actually require a bit of information in regards of said service, because our hard-earned money's going into this. So
Oh yeah, straight up. Like, I believe the consumer has, like, you know, well, the customer has every right to complain about it and pull them up on it, because at the end of the day, if we sit back and do nothing, what's that going to achieve?
yeah, we're, if anything, we're just going to let them like steamroll us, and then we just literally become just slaves to the motion, so to speak. Like, we literally will just become mindless zombies, just following what we're told.
Exactly.
And it's like, I'm pretty sure the entire gaming community does not want that.
No,
regardless of whether you're regardless of whether you're a PC master race or a console master race thing, regardless, we can all agree, if we're paying for a certain service when it comes to our games, we want them to kind of fully follow through with with what they've said. And if they don't follow through, we kind of want to know why, because it's like, we want to know if we have to start maybe looking towards putting our money elsewhere or not.
Yeah.
So, over the next few months, I will be keeping an eye out, and every podcast, when there's new PS Plus games, I will be obviously talking about it, and I'll be asking all the doughballs in the chats what they believe how they feel in regards of said games, regardless of what your platform is. Again, whether you're Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, doesn't matter. Let me know what you think, and think if it's actually good or not. And I'll also be giving my own opinion, and no doubt, Damo, you will also voice your opinion as well. And we'll also be asking our co-host as well as our guests as well, on what they feel, because we will be having guests that said at some point that will be from different platforms as well. So that's something I will hopefully. That was something that I would like to do within the future. So it'll be So Sony. So to summarise, Sony, the fuck you playing at? Basically.
Saber had to make an appearance.
Didn't actually hear, actually.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, a lot of the time we actually don't hear Saber. Well, a lot of the time we actually don't hear Saber. Like, Saber's usually pretty quiet across the board.
Oh yeah, he's been a bit vocal actually recently. More when it comes to the point of, I can see the bottom of my bowl. Fill it up, people.
Fill it up, human.
Yeah.
Fill it up, human.
Tray.
Fill it up, human. Why? What are you gonna do? Sephiroth! Oh god.
Oh man, like this. Yeah, like I said, we as consumers and customers, we genuinely have a right to complain. And when people sit there and go, "Well, it's a free game, get over it," like, be grateful.
If it was,
we're grateful when it's an actual game and not DLC. We're grateful when it's decent.
Here's the argument you can actually make to those people. It's like, if it was actually a free game like Genshin Impact, fair enough. But it's only free through a service, a paid service. That's the thing.
Yep.
So, like, so then but then again, it would then that would then go on to the argument of, should PlayStation Plus be as expensive as it is, or should they lower the price? Blah blah blah. That's a whole different kettle of fish that could easily spill onto other stuff. But yeah, that'll be a different conversation for another time. Do you have another topic?
Actually, yeah, this one's more kind of opinion based, but the new, I don't know if it's a new feature now, but it was in beta testing for Dead by Daylight, the new wiggle system. At first, I was just like, you know what, this doesn't exactly look great, and so I asked my friend a couple of days ago actually, not a couple days ago, sorry, a couple days after watching his stream, and I asked him, I said, so how does it actually work? Like, is it actually good? Because to me, it doesn't look that great, you know. And they basically turned around and said, well, actually, no, I've managed to get off of the killer quite a few times with this. I actually find it quite nice. I was like, oh, okay. Because he is also a console streamer as well as obviously a console player. I actually tested out, me, Brad, and my man, we just had like a night of smashing out some Dead by Daylight, you know, and we were all put on the beta testing feature, and I was confused at first, because I was like, okay, why is it doing this sort of thing? Didn't manage to get out of the killer's grasp, bear in mind, but I did get used to it a lot quicker than when they last introduced a wiggle switch, shall we say.
That sounds like something else.
I know, right?
Hey Tifa, do you want to activate my wiggle switch?
Hey, Sephiroth. Come over with that
wiggle
switch! But no, I was quite surprised how much easier it got quite quickly, and I do believe it would actually be a better feature, like, for the game, if anything, because obviously there's so much you need to do in terms of the buttons and stuff anyway, though, but personally, I think it just adds more to it, because it means you've got to do a bit more, sort of thing, and obviously there's going to be times when you're trying to concentrate on something, you get grabbed by the killer all of a sudden, and you're like, shit, what button is it? But it's that rush to feel like, you know what, I can get used to this.
So, would you say the wiggle feature, would you say the wiggle control adds another type of thrill?
Yeah, to some extent.
Alright. So, do you think it'd actually be a feature that should be included in the game, or or do you think they need to work on it a bit more?
I would definitely say they'd need to work on it a little bit more before actually implementing it in the game. Obviously, I don't know if they have actually full-on implemented it, because I've kind of not been on it since, to be honest. But for me, I would definitely like to see if they can actually improve it, even if it's just by the slightest. Because I did notice when I was pressing the buttons for it, like I think it was like the L1 and R1 buttons, or it might have just been L1. But it didn't exactly go to plan, like it didn't sync up properly in a way. So if they can improve that, I would probably get back into playing it, obviously as long as they can fix all the other things included.
Interesting.
And actually deal with the issues at hand as well, and I'll probably be more inclined to actually go back and play it and have some fun with it.
There's a cat sat behind you on my screen.
Yes, I know. I'm just hoping my cat doesn't look up at the TV screen and go, cat.
Meow.
Meow.
Sephiroth. Meow. Why do I get a feeling that's going to be asked for the next? Why do I think that's going to be asked now for the next week?
You know what? I'm now implementing it first thing in the morning. I'm just going to be like, Sephiroth. Massive cock.
Or gets that? Oh, could you imagine that during sex? Sephiroth. That's a cock. I'm sorry, I know we keep going back to it, but we can't help it. That's the meme for the podcast. When I upload this on YouTube, I might actually change it. I might actually change it to Sephiroth. That might actually just be the title for the podcast today.
To be fair, not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind my man like cosplaying as Sephiroth.
Oh man, people are gonna be certain people are gonna be shamed that they missed this.
Yep. And I hope my man heard me from like in the bedroom. because you know, on Mike, because I believe that he and Brad are still gaming together at the minute. So
Just stick your head around the door in a minute and go, Sephiroth!
I'm gonna do
Massive cock!
I'm gonna do it.
Here we go.
Sephiroth! Massive cock!
Fuck's sake, Damo! Fuck's sake, girl!
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking gods.
It's alright, Brad didn't even turn around.
Brad's used to your shit, that's why.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we've come to that point where I think now we've talked about the good and the bad and the downright degenerate. So, games that are coming out that might actually be curious. Oh, hang on. Yo, Crusader Kings 3 is coming to PlayStation. What?
Wait, what?
Crusader Kings 3 is coming to PlayStation.
Alright.
Yo, when I tell Charles, it's only available on PS5. Boo!
I might just get it just to piss Charles off, you know.
Because I'd definitely play that. So, are there any games that you have seen that it doesn't necessarily have to be on PlayStation, it can be on any platform, that have caught your eye that you might actually either A, get as soon as you are able to, or that are actually coming out soon?
Well, I mean, I know we kind of like discussed this last time, but Dying Light 2, as everybody knows, one of my favourite gaming YouTubers that's not sim related, the Rad Brad. I know I shout him out near enough every podcast, I apologise, but to me, he is the god of Let's Plays, because he is so wholesome, he's just so adorable, okay? But he's recently released some Dying Light 2 content. Now, the graphics, amazing. Some of the bugs I've seen during his Let's Plays, hilarious. Storyline looks fucking incredible. Honestly, like, so much has changed. Like, not so much that it's not Dying Light franchise at all, but in a sense it has, but it has for the better. Like, the new zombies, you know, that are about, the new characters, the new main protagonist, honestly, it's all really good. You know, like, the first Dying Light was amazing, but I think, honestly, this tops it off, quite literally. And I really, honestly, I really want to get it. So, I might ask my dad to be like, hey, some birthdays coming up in September. Dying Light 2, PlayStation 5. You know,
Jesus.
just because I really want to play it, honestly. Like, I had high hopes for the game, I understood the hype, I'm going with the hype, and I just really want to play it. Like, if you're the type of person like I am who would prefer to check games out before getting them, definitely, like, it doesn't even have to be the Rad Brad, honestly.
Just look around.
Just look it up. Just look at the content.
There's plenty of people that are playing like new games, so do actually give it a look.
Definitely have, like, at least, even if it's just a trailer for the game, honestly, just look it up. Watch a little bit of the gameplay, watch the trailer, do what you need to do. But honestly, I would definitely say it's a game worth buying.
But as a fan of the original Dying Light, I'm not gonna lie, I am actually real curious, and I wouldn't mind actually giving it a crack myself, because I actually did enjoy it. So
I'd definitely check it out, honestly, because
yeah.
I really want that game.
I actually have a couple of games actually on my end. I did say this last time, but I will say again. Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. As anyone that actually knows, I have a long history with Dynasty Warriors. It was the first game I ever played on a PS2 after I got out of hospital from my car accident. My extended family actually let me jump on the PlayStation, and while my arm was still in a sling, I was actually sat there playing Dynasty Warriors, and it just clicked with me.
Nice.
So that game comes out next week. I have it pre-ordered, so no doubt you guys will see some. If it is streamable with no issues, I will probably be doing that. Well, because that game you can create your own characters, and I wouldn't mind actually creating some of the members of the pizza party for that game, so we can actually go ahead and try and fuck over the nations fuck over the armies of the Three Kingdoms era, and also. A mech game is coming out that has caught my attention just because it actually looks pretty good. It's called Relayer. I don't know much in regards to this game, but based on some of the stuff I have actually seen, it actually does look pretty good. It is a single player game. I know, a single player game in this day and age. It actually. Basically, you'll be in charge of a mech going up against aliens. What I'm seeing here, apparently there's 100 unique cutscenes, apparently that play during battles throughout the game. Yes, like all sorts of like when it comes to mech games, I always enjoy a good mech game. Like, I am a fan of the Gundam games, but I'm not a fan of the recent ones because, well, it's too clunky. But yeah, actually, there's another one that's caught my attention. Monarch, another JRPG. I know, Chaos and JRPGs go hand in hand. But yeah, this one kind of looks like a game that I actually have streamed, and I definitely need to finish. But it looks like it could be a bit of a dark one, and this is where I'll just read the initial bit for it. Could you face yourself and the threats around you to save the ones you love? Shin Makoto Academy is engulfed in a madness-inducing mist, and only you can save everyone inside.
Nice.
And there is a demo on the PlayStation Store that you can actually play of Monarch to get an idea. It will take you all the way through Chapter 1. And then when the game comes out, if you actually buy it, you can transfer your save data over to it so you can continue from where you left off.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Oh yeah, I definitely will be, because in regard to Dynasty Warriors 9, a few things always seem to happen when I play that game on stream. Some form of madness happens. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to it. Even if I don't stream it, I'm just going to look forward to playing it in general. I would say Crusader Kings 3, because I would play the shit out of that myself, just because of the madness that is that game. But unfortunately, yeah, being PS5 only, boo. Now, there's one game that's popped up recently that it looks like another RPG. I know, and me and RPGs. It's called Edge of Eternity. There's a game I've actually tried to look into, but not much has popped up in regards of information about it. I think they're keeping their cards close to their chests. But this is basically what it says about it. Wage epic turn-based battles as you follow Darian and Celine on their quest to find a cure to the all-consuming corrosion in this grand tale of hope and sacrifice. Key features: an enthralling story filled with plot twists and heart-wrenching moments, a gorgeous fantasy world to explore, epic battles with a unique and strategic turn-based combat system, charismatic and unforgettable characters, stunning soundtrack featuring Yasunori Mitsuda, the one. Oh wow, this person's actually behind the Chrono Trigger and Xenoblade Chronicles music. Ah,
Nice.
an advanced crafting system, a giant two-tailed cat mount, entirely voiced in
Okay.
English and Japanese, and 50 plus hours of gameplay.
Nice.
And there's no price for this, so I don't know. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah. So yeah, those are the games that I'm curious about, or are on my list. I have pre-ordered Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, and the annoying part is, if I've worked it out right, it will come out next Tuesday. But what do I do on Tuesdays? Work.
Yes.
So maybe expect a small stream from me on the Tuesday. Of course, I'll probably play it at midnight on the Monday. Now, I wanted to actually get a couple of things out the way before we start to wrap things up. Now, obviously, as those of you who are aware, I had to cancel the podcast last week due to some last minute things, and then there were some issues. So normally what would mean is the podcast would be next Monday. However, we're going to leave it as it currently is, so it won't be next Monday, but it will be the Monday after. So we're going to keep it at the 2-week format, because I think it works best for everyone. Means then Damo gets to do what she ever wants to do, and then just once, just maybe twice a month, then we do this and we come together. You guys don't get sick of us actually chinwagging and bullshitting our way through a couple of hours, talking about games and companies and how we're trying to right the wrongs of the world. And also us talking about Sephiroth and his big magic cock. That's going to be a fucking meme
Sephiroth!
Magic cock! That's going to be a meme for us for a bit, I guarantee it. Do not want emote of that, people. No! We're not going down that route. We're not going down that route.
Yes.
No.
Do it.
No. 21st is the next time. I believe that is the case. Yes, let me just double check. Where's my calendar? Here it is. Yes, you are correct. The 21st of February will be when the next podcast takes place. It will be at 8:30 as well, because our new co-host, it works for our new co-host on this time, and also it works for Damo and myself.
Yes. And then, just to give everybody a heads up, on the 23rd, I will be away from home.
So it's a good thing that we're doing things like that we are then.
Yeah.
Because then you ain't got to rush back for the podcast, and you can actually just spend, whenever you get back, time to chill.
Yeah, exactly.
So it actually does work out for the better. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will obviously... I'm going to give it a couple of days before I upload this onto YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I will obviously edit the initial bit out to... obviously match up like I did with the first episode. So yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed and found this as informative and as stupid as we have. Damo, as always, thank you for joining me.
That's not a problem.
Give me a second. I think my bot is playing up again. I need to quickly sort that out before we move on to the final parts. And there's the Scotland. I was wondering when we were going to get that.
You know what? Just because whilst I'm here,
Oh no.
Google.
Thank you, Alex.
Oh,
And there we
nice.
go. There is the link to Damo's Twitch channel. Twitch.tv/it's Damo96.
Hey, thank you, Karen.
And of course, if you wish to actually view the podcast again when it is uploaded, you can find it at my YouTube channel at youtube.com/ChaosDragon49. You can also find me. You can also follow me at Twitter at Chaos Mason, where I do post just random stuff, or I'm retweeting other people's wholesome stuff, or I'll post like schedule there, or I'll try and do my daily messages there as well. I'm trying to be as active as I can across the social medias a bit more. So if you do have any questions for me and I'm not on the Discord and you want to reach me, then you will be able to actually get a hold of me on Twitter if you do at Chaos Mason, and you will be able to see my derpy little face over there.
Oh my.
I think we'll leave that on that one, because I want to ask why you're saying oh my.
You'll see in a minute.
Oh no, it's not stream worthy then. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. Lion and Mikano, and Alex, thank you very much for the subs. Lion and Mikano, thank you for a tier 2 sub. Very much appreciate it, you guys, and very much thank you everyone for the continued support. I hope you guys continue are more than willing to actually deal with my bullshit on the regular as we push towards partner. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and do a raid. And there's only one person who I can see that I would like to actually give a raid. You all know what's coming. We're going to go ahead and raid the Giozaki, who is currently playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Gio is actually pushing to actually get that game done before the new Horizon game appears very, very soon. So, I hope you all have had a wonderful time here for this podcast. I know these podcasts are a bit scuffed at the best of times. There's not been much in the way of camera work for me today, but that's because there's only just been the two of us, so I figured I'd keep the camera at least as is. So with that being said, everyone, we're going to go ahead and raid the lovely Geo, and I hope to see you all. If I don't stream at some point in the week, I will see you all on Friday. And do you have anything you wish to say to the people before we go?
Sephiroth! Massive cock!
Ladies and gentlemen, raise your pizzas high and say it with me. Stay chaotic and live for the challenge. Fucking help me. Bye!